I'm Daniel, and for the last decade I've been investigating how emerging technologies will impact how we live and work. In this latest series, we're looking at the transformative technology that we simply can't get away from.
AI.
ChatGPT.
This is the global race of our lives.
Profound technology that humanity will ever develop and work on.
Fourth industrial revolution, it is happening, and it's not coming, it's happening.
AI will help dramatically accelerate the pace of science and human discovery.
Artificial intelligence has entered nearly every aspect of daily life, yet its true nature remains elusive to many.
Lots of people just don't know what that really is yet. Well, I don't know what it really is yet.
There's just so many kind of industries and sort of like works that it seems to be sort of like, taken over.
Probably 99% of the population really doesn't understand it.
Public understanding is fragmented. Interpretations range from technical systems to existential threats.
AI is a fundamental shift in humanity, and I think it will change, basically how humanity operates, including how we are educated, the healthcare side, even the meaning of jobs and work.
The stakes are high, the consequences complex, and the conversation is only just beginning.
It doesn't make me feel good. I mean, it's just another way to control people, but a lot easier, because if they know everything about people, then they know how to get to the people.
It's already impacting all of our lives on a day-to-day basis. We might not even know it.
At the end of the day, that piece of software is a piece of software. That doesn't mean it's intelligent like humans are intelligent. It means that it's good at what it does.
Understanding the future starts with understanding the foundations. That's why I'm travelling across the UK to discover the true nature of AI. We begin with a single, deceptively simple question. What is AI?
AI has been around for a very long time, going back to the 1950s.
All present computers are mechanical morons, but this will not always be true.
If you can teach a child to do something like play the piano, eventually plays the piano better than its teacher.
They will start to think, and eventually they will completely outthink their makers.
The more they're like people, then the more one uses them like people, and why should one worry?
The idea of things around that are smarter than us and able to think faster than us or learn like we do and understand like we do is very frightening.
Robots were initially the kind of AI that people were getting excited about, but in the last 3 years, we've seen an acceleration of AI technologies, particularly starting with GPT and similar technologies that generate images, talk to us in natural language. And that's building on a history of research.
In most people's minds, when they hear the phrase intelligence, they think of something that has an innate ability to do something that they won't understand. That is, in some sense, it's creating something from nothing. And I actually think it's unfortunate that that word has taken hold. At the end of the day, that piece of software is a piece of software, and it operates and it runs and it produces something that might be fluid text or it might be a prediction. That doesn't mean it's intelligent like humans are intelligent. I think something like an automation tool, or possibly just tool, would be quite good, because that kind of puts it in its place.
There are huge amounts of things that people call AI which aren't much more than advanced automation in reality, but they're still requiring huge amounts of compute power and resources to deliver them.
When was the last time we had a technology that could think and reason and ideate independently? Or it could actually mimic how humans think and how humans execute, whether it's work or other, kind of activities. Every other technology we have used in the past augmented what humans are doing. Now you have a new technology that is actually doing things almost like how humans are executing work. So to me, I would categorize AI different from all the other technologies we have seen in the past.
I think AI is a fundamental shift in humanity. People talk about this being hyped and overhyped and all those things, but it's actually underhyped on its long-term macro perspective because, I think even if you take the history of humanity, you've got the Big Bang, you've got then the discovery of fire, you've got electricity. Like, AI will be as consequential as all of those moments because you've got an intelligent being that is more intelligent than every human on Earth in your pocket. You might have infinite Einsteins in the near future, and that will change, basically how humanity operates, including how we are educated, the healthcare side, even the meaning of jobs and work. They will all be up for question in the coming decades, and I think we're really at the beginning point, and it's happened quite quickly already, and I think we'll see transformation accelerating in incredible ways over the coming years with many opportunities, but a lot of risks to also manage along that path as well.
AI is no longer on the horizon. It's here, shaping systems, services, and decisions behind the scenes.
It's already impacting all of our lives on a day-to-day basis. We might not even know it, where the algorithm is prompting this service or this product to go and buy when we're doing our online shopping, or plotting the most efficient route through traffic when we get a taxi. With generative AI, that is the real tipping point, because that is what I think is feeling scary potentially to us as a human race and society.
The adoption of generative AI, so embodied in ChatGPT, if I look at the impact and the arrival of that in society, into people's homes, it's really accessible, right? It's Google search, maybe on steroids, or Google search plus. So it's made people's ability, I think, to find information even more accessible than the old Google search, which gave you a list of websites that kind of related to your search. And then you had to go through every single website and see if actually your search result was contained within it. So we've seen this ability of generative AI to sort data, filter it, summarize it, collate it, and present it in a very fluid style back to people. So I think it's really easy to access, and hey, isn't that really convenient?
But how you ask it the question is really important in terms of the subtleties of the answer that you get back. And it almost becomes social engineering then. It's about phraseology to get the output that you want.
What gives life to AI? It's data, it's knowledge. Now you have massive amount of computings that will take advantage of all that data that's been collected over the past few decades, and it gives AI the life it's been predicted for.
The problem with data, you put shit in, you get shit out. People have really crappy data sets. I think a lot of the use cases that are being sold at the moment are to mask the problem that we've just collected all of this data because AI promised that we could do something with it, and the data we've collected is of a really poor quality and it's cleaning it up to make a decision. I think if we had data that was valid and correct and was accurate, we wouldn't necessarily need a lot of the stuff that's being pushed on us today.
See, the organisations I'm familiar with want to use technology to uplift their capability to process data really quickly and to be able to get results to customers quickly, and results which are relevant. In order to do that, there's a drive to adopt technology so that the business becomes more competitive. So I think that ability to want to adopt technology is very healthy, and all the organisations that I work alongside and have worked with have the same view. What is holding some organisations back is all of the data landscape they have within their organisations.
People are just collecting data for no good. You should collect data with an understanding of what you're going to do with it and how you're going to use it. I think, right? There should be an ethical understanding of why you're doing something. The context is there, and I think what AI does is it just goes, ignore the context, just collect all the data, and then we'll decide what we're going to do with it.
Clearly, good data will be a challenge in some use cases. But what are the opportunities for AI when we already have good data that we all agree on?
Some very interesting application of AI where it could be sort of a very universal technology which provides opportunity for all, and then actually could be quite a unifying technology for society. I think the most obvious one you can always think to is the idea of an AI tutor, because the same way that kids are now learning stuff on YouTube and watching training videos on things, it will just be an extension of how people often like to do that in a very personalized way.
In a classroom-based setting, certainly one that I grew up in, you had one teacher teaching a group of 30 pupils, all with differing levels of capability, all with different concentration levels, differing abilities to learn. Well, AI gives you the ability to create individualized curriculum and actually deliver it on an app. So organizations without a strong infrastructure for schooling and so on, you can have teaching delivered to your phone. And I just think, if you imagine all of the people that can't travel to school, all of the young children can't travel to school, get the teaching they need, can't afford to do that, well, the ability to get that delivered on a smartphone, which, let's face it, smartphones are everywhere, even in some of the disadvantaged countries, the ability to deliver that on time, tailored, personalized to everybody, I mean, that really excites me.
There are a lot of advantages that AI can bring forward. Think about a lot of diseases that we can kind of cure a lot faster. The benefits that we can give to a lot of people with disabilities, that they need and want those advantages.
And if you're connected up, say, a wearable device, you can have essentially round-the-clock, 24/7 world-class doctor in your pocket, which again, I think will provide huge amounts of opportunity and equal access for people across the country if it's designed in the right way. We've seen some of the recent breakthroughs with Google DeepMind's AlphaFold looking at protein folding, and now even generative AI creating novel proteins as a result for drug targeting, which are much more successful than previous areas of sort of doing this by hand. And I think Google DeepMind says that even just the protein folding breakthrough would have taken something like 400 million hours of human time to do it, which obviously took a couple of months in AI.
And they've really, really opened up opportunities to create cures for really horrible diseases, to create opportunities for organizations treating people in a really personalized way, new drug discovery. That is a huge area that these probabilistic AI models can be deployed. So I'm really looking forward to breakthroughs in that area.
The breakthroughs are real, but AI doesn't just serve the good guys. It's important that we remember that with every leap in capability, new risks rise alongside it.
As much as AI is a big benefactor and an advantageous element for good guys, AI is also as advantageous to the bad guys. Think about fraud, and business fraud. Business fraud is something that happens to many consumers and many of us, including every single one of us, interviewing. So, banks and financial organizations can take advantage of AI to detect and prevent those things a lot faster, a lot better. That's great. The people who create fraud will take advantage of AI, and they will increase based on some of the statistics that I see. The fraud, kind of options and channels and choices by 480%. So therefore, the banks have to think about a lot more protection for their customers and consumers compared to what they did before. So you constantly have this challenge of good versus evil that AI give power to both.
I like to think of the worst case use for the AI that I'm building and build that AI so that I can test and demonstrate how it will be abused It will abuse people, or it can be abused to extract insights that people don't want to share. And in the UK, I tend to think that we have a very risk-averse culture, which I'm trying to change. We are very well protected by our parents. We are protected by government, by society. We don't like failure in this country, but innovation does imply that you will fail along the way.
What we know about AI and what we believe is often shaped by headlines, algorithms, and social media bubbles. But how much of it is true? And do we understand the challenges of this new AI future?
The media is massively weak when it comes to portraying the challenges. They have literally drunk the Kool-Aid, and they're pushing a very false narrative based upon misinformation. There's no doubt about that. And then you also get the fact that actually what we consume in the media now is driven by whichever social media bubble we happen to exist in. And we're also very good as a society now picking and choosing the media that we want to believe in. So we do need a more brutally honest and transparent media. I'm not sure we're going to get it though.
We need to say it because, look, some people out there are sceptical. They do worry about AI. They worry about, will it make their lives more complicated?
And that concern is widespread.
I'm not educated. I'm willing to be educated, though. Are you going to help me clean windows?
Personally, I find it has a negative impact because I think we're going to become overtaken by people who can't think for themselves.
I describe AI as being scary, to be honest. There's just so many kind of industries and sort of like works that it seems to be sort of like, you know, taking over.
I perceive AI to be an intelligent digital tool.
My concept of AI is just everything fake with the world to make everything seem better.
I keep hearing about AI, but I don't really know too much about it.
I think when it starts putting people out of work, I mean, especially in the UK at the moment with the cost of living crisis and stuff like that, I mean, it's the last thing we need is to be putting people out of work. And like I say, I do think it's going to affect everyone in every job role.
Artificial intelligence, at least in I guess our current state is more like LLMs, so large language models. That's the way I think about it.
Goddamn. AI is a machine that searches the web for other people's work, I guess, and manipulates it in the way that you want it.
Seems like it's an easier way of doing things, and I think that's why people are latching onto it, because it's a way to make money quickly.
So it's not replacing the human mind, but it's got like the attributes of the human mind.
It's a powerful intelligence, which I'm afraid is going to take over us and the world, and we're going to swap positions.
There's a minuscule amount of people in this UK that are immersed in AI, yet they all talk to each other. So those conversations make it seem that everybody understands AI. But you step out of that work environment that you're in, or your research environment that you're in, and then you have a conversation in the pub, or you go and get a coffee and talk to it. You can't have those same conversations that you have in that environment, which really highlights the fact that probably 99% of the population really doesn't understand it, and therefore I think there's a big educational piece across the whole of the UK, well across the globe actually, but we'll talk about the UK, where we need to make it really, really not just understandable, but a point of actually, I want to know more.
So I think if we are going to elevate society, and we are going to empower human beings to do a different thing, then we need to start educating them how to use this tool properly, right? You can't just say, here's a spanner, go away and build stuff, if people don't know what the spanner is for. So we need to go through that as a society. And I think for the UK to get the best out of what is an inevitable train that's hurtling down the track with AI and the proliferation of data, is we need to embed into education now how to use that tool, because it's going to take 10 to 15 years to monetize this properly and to change the education system and to change what people are doing now to make use of the data tools that are just going to be ubiquitous everywhere within the next 5 years.
AI is become very much a stock price influencer. So it does whatever you push out. The name .ai dictates your share price these days. the number of GPUs that you buy dictates your share price these days. So that now has been exploited by a number of tech companies, and pushed into the media and into the public domain, and we see it on billboards at train stations, we see it on adverts on mobile phones, on social media. So we are bombarded by this notion that AI is out there, and the more companies do this, the better their share price right now, and their valuation effectively. So we need to be mindful of this when we hear various news coming from the media, coming from different platforms, and then try and figure out what is it that is real in this picture.
At this point, it becomes clear that while some of us understand the possibilities of AI, we are still wrestling with the probabilities of how the story will unfold. Artificial intelligence has arrived at speed, and it's outpacing our national understanding. So if we are to truly embrace and benefit from this new technology, we must be prepared to learn and explore the complexities of how it will impact the nation. Understanding AI is only the beginning. What comes next is more difficult. We must make decisions about control, sovereignty, and trust. My journey continues.
The risks that we take and the investments that we make will determine the path our country follows in the decades to come. And we must once again, seize the opportunities in front of us with courage and conviction.